Thalassophobia, the fear of murky or dark water, deep and unable to be seen through. A fear that can truly affect your life, especially if you live close to wetlands or a swamp. And the story we're covering today might just feed into that fear. So we'll jump into another short creepypasta called The Bottle. The story begins with a young child who plays with their friends in a junkyard that is very close by to their friend's home. Living up to the destructive tendencies of children, the main character and their friends play in this junkyard and begin to dismantle a derelict car. After successfully destroying the outside, they quickly move to the inside of the vehicle, and the main character finds a bottle. After being dared by his friends, he throws caution to the wind and drinks the unknown liquid. After this, he goes through a multitude of changes. It first starts with insomnia as he's unable to sleep. This quickly escalates, though, to vomiting up blood, and then an episode where he vomits up his own organs. They are quickly replaced by new organs, and then soon the character begins to crave water. With this new craving, they leave home and find shelter in a nearby swamp. The story then quickly ends after this, as the character admits to using a victim's cell phone to write the story that you're reading, and is referencing that the victim tasted good, kind of like melons. This story tries to take advantage of the short writing style by having the climax in the last couple sentences. This ends up being bittersweet though, as there is a lot of interpretation of what the character could be. I originally thought the character was turning into a snake, and then I changed my idea to an alligator or a crocodile. But then ultimately it sounds like he turns into some kind of swamp creature reminiscent of the creature of the Black Lagoon. Even with my love for shorter stories, I find that this story needs to be rated skippable. I do like the concept, and the open interpretation does help, but I found that the climax that is given is more annoying and goofy and off-putting than it is scary. A lot of that due to the braggadocious style that the character gives off as they're talking about their victim. Though I do find that the horrors and the phobia that it kind of represents, as you cannot see into a lot of these dark swamps, is very interesting and something fun to actually kind of think about. But even with that, the story itself is not very hard-hitting, and that's why I had to give it this skippable rating. The only thing that is saving this story is that it's very short and quick to read through, and the interpretation does help, but even with that, it's something that I couldn't recommend to others. So I think the moral of this story is, don't just drink random liquids you find in cars. You might become a snake or a swamp creature. Unless it's a double dog dare, then you can't say no. See you next time.